be very easy for me to come out here and give you the kind of news that you would like to hear. But I'm not going to do that because I've got some bad news.
Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of. Let me say that again. Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of.
Bro, when I woke up, and this was the first thing I saw. This is the first thing I saw. And I was stunned because of the sheer gall of him saying this. Now, for those of you who don't know what's going on, he's in China doing a promotion or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming he was asked a question because this past weekend, Daryl Morey, I guess it was reported that they were no longer looking for trade. They were no longer looking for trade partners for James Harden, and that they expect him to report to camp.
Yes.
Right. And this is what he's saying right now about Daryl Morey. Now, mind you, these guys, like Daryl Morey, is a James Harden guy. He got on OKC, right? He touted him up and down, saying he's the best player in the league and all the other stuff. It crazy, right?
Yeah.
So even when Daryl Morey moved on to Philadelphia, the main goal was to get him out of Houston, to get James out of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
But Philadelphia didn't have the packages at the time, so he went to Brooklyn. And then when that fell apart, Harden, after he cried his way out of Houston, he went to Brooklyn. He cried his way out of Brooklyn. Then he went to Philadelphia. Now he's gonna try to cry his way out of Philadelphia. But this is the most I've seen, because Harden, like he said something about when it came to Houston, saying that he felt like they just weren't able to win. That was tame compared to this. Now let me replay the video because it's funny.
Yeah.
Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of. Let me say that again. Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's.
Now he didn't just say it once. He said it twice, and he made sure he said it twice. He made sure that he wasn't misquoted, that it wasn't taken out of context. He wanted you to know exactly what he was saying.
He wanted to make sure that there was clarity.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to make sure that in the future he didn't need to clarify. He wanted. Go ahead.
Let me say it again. Let me say this again. And the reason why this is the case, and go ahead. Continue what you're gonna say.
Oh, yeah. He obviously wanted to clarify, and look, bro. Listen, man. Listen. James Harden. When it comes to selfishness, holy cow! I need to go back real quick, because the reason why it ticked me off what he did in Houston. Look, if you want to get traded, I completely understand. But the way that he did it not only ticked me off, but he did it in a way to where what Houston did for him is not the same what the Cavs had did for LeBron James earlier in his career, where they couldn't give him anybody. In Houston, they gave you the best talented possible. They gave you Dwight Howard. It didn't work out for you. They gave you Chris Paul. It didn't work out for you. They gave you freaking Russell Westbrook. It didn't work out for you. Like, they gave you talent. You was with elite players, but it was you that they wanted that couldn't deliver. It was you that was inconsistent in the playoffs. Granted, you went to the Western Conference Finals. Clearly, that means that you did something previously. But when it was time for you to win, when KD wasn't healthy, you lost, and you couldn't deliver the goods. So at the end of the day, man, you had the best talented players around you, and you did nothing. You did nothing. And then you go to freaking the Nets. You complain about them. Now you went to Philadelphia. Once again, you playing with Embiid, who's also elite. Mind you, everyone, Embiid is also elite. And now you complaining about this again. Dude, like what do you want? What do you want? I love James Harden. I love the way he plays the game. He's a very phenomenal offensive player, and he could play good defense if he wants to when he wants to. But dude, enough already, man. Enough already. And I also want to say this. You know what? This is just me speculating. I honestly believe that a lot of these teams probably didn't really want James Harden at all, because they see all the hassle that teams went through in Houston. They see all the hassle that people went through with the Nets, and all this drama that's now causing, in Philadelphia. Like, who would want to bring that into their organization? Seriously, the guy purposely got fat so he could leave Houston. This dude left KD and Kyrie, and now he wants to leave Joel Embiid. Like, are you really taking basketball seriously? Do you truly want to play basketball if you are going to complain in every single team that you've been into within a year or two? Come on. Well, I have something else to say, but I want you to finish up.
Okay. No, well, the thing is, I was actually gonna go into why I think he's doing this.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So here's what happened. The beginning of last year, he opted out of his of the deal that he was on, and he signed I think he signed a one. I don't know if it was a 1-1 or something like that, but he signed a deal that was more team friendly, so that they can get players around them to win a championship. So I'm assuming, I guess they use that money to sign like PJ Tucker,
Yes.
other players like that, right? Now, I think what happened was he was promised by Daryl Morey that after the end of that season that he was going to get paid. He was going to get compensated for sacrificing. And Daryl Morey was like, I don't know, because you didn't look that great in the fight in the playoffs. I don't know, and I think this is why. Okay, so I think Harden either said, okay, well then trade me to. I guess one, obviously the rumors about Houston was rampant, so I do believe he wanted to go to Houston. But the thing is, I think the person who nixed that deal was Ime Udoka. I don't think Udoka wanted to coach James Harden.
you really think that's what the reason is?
Yeah, cause we talked about this with the Damian Lillard thing. When you always hear a player wants to go, like whenever you ever hear two teams, a player wanting to go to that team, and it's a rumor, and it's a rampant rumor, and it don't happen, yeah, something crazy happened. All year I was saying, oh, Harden wants to go back to Houston. Harden wants to go back to Houston, and he's not in Houston.
Yeah.
And then you hear about him wanting to go to the Clippers, and that didn't happen. So now Harden is now stuck in Philadelphia, and now he's making less money than what he was promised he was going to make this year. And that's why I think you see what he's doing right now.
How many years does he have in Philadelphia in his deal?
I think one more year.
After this year, just one more after this.
Yeah, no, I think this year is it.
Oh, this year is it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's the thing that I'm confused by. If he was his plan was to have a contract extension and stay with Philadelphia.
Yeah, as long as they paid him.
As long as they paid him, he wanted to stay in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So the whole thing with Houston, that was not true then.
No. I mean, the thing is that you always hear rumors about him wanting to go to Houston, but it's hard to say. I think if they offered him the money, I think he would have stayed in Philadelphia. But I do think that his first option was Houston. But
And
I mean,
and well, then I'm going to speculate again. If
mhm.
that's the case, if I was Daryl Morey and I heard rumors that you truly wanted to go somewhere else and you wanted to go to Houston, I'm not paying you. Because that's I find that as betrayal. Because you asking me for all this extra amount of money, but then I also hear. So let me tell you something, Hubi. If the average Joe like you and I are hearing this and other people are
Mhm.
hearing this, obviously they're
They
more.
absolutely, yeah, they're absolutely hearing that.
So why in the world should he expect to pay you all this extra money when he's hearing rumors that you want to leave?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's why Daryl Morey didn't want to pay him. I don't necessarily think it was the performance. Well, it both could be true. That could be
yeah,
true
yeah,
too.
yeah.
But I also think the rumors of him wanting to go to Houston also persuaded Daryl Morey not to give him any money.
You know what? That's not a bad because like you said before, like if we heard about Houston, he heard about Houston.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's just that now this situation of him now, pretty much calling him out by name, it's pretty crazy, man. And trust me, you mentioned it in before. If Harden doesn't, trust me, we know that Harden doesn't have to play hard. We know that he can play. He can play half-assed. We seen it. We saw it in Houston. We saw it in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if they keep him and he plays, he's gonna do it in Philadelphia. He's gonna
Yeah.
absolutely do it in Philadelphia.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Right.
so
Again, you can't. I understand that maybe you guys had did a handshake. He kept a promise or some pact that the two of you, whatever agreement that the two of you had. I understand that, but I'm telling you, man, you want millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. He wants to sign you this check, and then he hears rumors that you wanted to leave. Nah, but he's gonna rip that check apart and say, oh look, you wanted to leave. You wanted to leave me. Well, then I'm not gonna give you any money. I'm not gonna give you any money. If you really want to leave that bad and go back to Houston, that's an insult to me. That's an insult to me. I'm not going to give you any money. Show what you could do in this season. Get ready for this season. Get ready for training camp, and then maybe we could go on and talk about an extension. But I'm telling you this. but I'm telling you this. James Harden probably knows something that we don't know. He knows that his talent and his prime time is continuing to wane,
mhm.
and the value, the money is going to be even less if he's not going to be able to produce this year. And I think he
Yeah,
knows that.
that's true. That's 100% true. I agree with that. I
So,
agree with that.
so he know he's on a time limit. Time is ticking, my friend. Time is ticking, and you don't have enough time left to get a nice big chunk contract like these other players have been getting. Like Chris Paul, for example, like all the great contracts he has been getting, even though he was older. But I don't. That doesn't mean it's going to happen to you, buddy. Especially now that you betrayed Daryl Morey. Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Nah. It's not. It's not happening.
Hmm. I don't know, man. Like I just find this whole situation to be just. I find it to be funny. Obviously, I find it funny. And the only other thing that I have to ask is how does Joel Embiid feel about this?
I didn't think about that. Oh,
What does what does he feel? How does he feel about this? Because to me, I personally think that if you're Joel Embiid and you see this happening, and I'm like, bro, this organization just can't win. They can't
uh,
win.
yeah,
So it's like at the end of the day, if you're Joel Embiid, how long can you how long can you stay there? How long can you stay there? Because at the end of the day, like they're not winning, bro. They're not. If Harden's not there, whether he's there whether he's there and not happy or he's not there, they're not going to be better. They're going to be bad. They're not bad, but they're not going to be good. With just Joel Embiid, they're not going to be good.
No, yeah. If they're not, if it's just Joel Embiid, they're going to be 7th, 8th seed at best.
Exactly.
If it's just him, they're not going anywhere. They're not.
And
going
that's
anywhere.
not what Joel Embiid wants.
Right.
So,
and what, dude? I would be pissed off if I was Joel Embiid, because look, you already had issues with freaking Ben Simmons. You already had issues with him, and now you're having issues with James Harden. And I think what makes this whole matters worse is this is happening to you playing with elite players. Now, a lot of people considered, at least at the time, that Ben Simmons was an elite player until now. Mm-hmm. And obviously, James Harden is considered as an elite player, and elite players is causing drama. Like, dude, if I'm Joel Embiid, like if Harden, continues to bring drama into the organization, anything remotely similar to Ben Simmons, I won't be surprised if he asks for a trade. Because I can't like you can't deal with this year after year after year. Yeah. Like eventually he's gonna say, I need to start fresh. I need to go to a new organization. So, bro, whatever relationship or animosity that Daryl Morey and James Harden, you need to get it fixed before the season starts. You need to get it fixed immediately. But
and listen, Harden, he comes after somebody who wants his money.